We have a lot of intense emotional ground to cover, so let us dive straight into the captivating drama unfolding this week. The shadows of the past have a peculiar way of stretching into the present, and no one is feeling this chilling reality more acutely than Andre. In a moment of sheer desperation, he turns to Smitty, pleading for assistance. Smitty, known for his grounded nature and unshakable loyalty, finds himself pulled into Andre's turbulent orbit. Andre's primary objective is to unburden his soul and confess a dark, closely guarded secret to Ted, hoping that honesty might finally bring him some semblance of peace. However, the universe seems entirely opposed to Andre's quest for absolution. Every time he musters the courage to pull Ted aside, the chaotic whirlwind of the Richardson family intervenes. The Richardson household has become a powder keg of its own, with relentless family crises, sudden emergencies, and deep-seated domestic disputes constantly demanding Ted's immediate attention. Andre is left standing on the periphery, his heavy words dying in his throat time and time again. This agonizing delay only serves to amplify his internal torment, making the secret feel like a physical poison coursing through his veins. The constant interruptions build a suffocating tension, leaving audiences on the edge of their seats, wondering when the inevitable explosion of truth will finally occur. Simultaneously, Andre's external world is crumbling just as rapidly as his internal one, primarily due to his rapidly escalating conflict with Bill. The animosity between these two men has evolved from simmering resentment into an outright blazing inferno of hostility. Bill, ever the opportunist, senses Andre's vulnerability and capitalizes on it, pushing every conceivable button to destabilize him further. Their encounters are laced with venomous threats, sharp glares, and a battle for dominance that threatens to cause collateral damage to everyone around them. This fierce rivalry with Bill serves as a massive distraction, draining Andre's energy and making his desperate need to confess to Ted even more urgent, as he fears Bill might somehow weaponize the secret before he can control the narrative. Finally, the long-awaited moment arrives and Andre finds himself alone with Ted. The atmosphere in the room is thick with anticipation and dread as Andre lays his soul bare, delivering the confession that has been eating him alive. The revelation hits Ted like a physical blow, shattering his perception of the man standing before him. What follows is a fiercely intense, emotionally raw argument that shakes the very foundations of their dynamic. Ted's reaction is a volatile mix of profound betrayal, blinding anger, and deep sorrow. Through the screaming and the tears, Andre does not fight back or offer hollow excuses. Instead, he completely surrenders, accepting every ounce of Ted's fury and every consequence of his past actions. In a heartbreaking display of vulnerability, Andre bows his head, accepting whatever decision Ted makes, holding on to a fragile, desperate hope that one day he might earn forgiveness. While Andre battles the ghosts of his past, a different kind of heartbreak is shattering the world of young Tyrell. In a completely unexpected and devastating turn of events, Jessica suddenly ends their relationship. The abruptness of the breakup leaves Tyrell in a state of profound shock and deep emotional agony. For someone experiencing the visceral pain of a first major heartbreak, the world suddenly feels incredibly bleak and utterly devoid of color. Despite Tyrell's best efforts to conceal his devastation, he cannot hide his pain from the watchful, intuitive eyes of Smitty. As a deeply observant and caring father figure, Smitty is the very first person to detect the subtle cracks in Tyrell's armor. He knows that forcing Tyrell to talk or aggressively prying into his emotional state will only cause the young man to retreat further into his shell. Instead, Smitty chooses the path of quiet patience and unwavering presence. Smitty creates an environment of absolute safety and zero judgment. He doesn't demand answers. He simply makes sure Tyrell knows he is not alone. Whether it's sitting in comfortable silence, offering a warm cup of coffee, or just being a steady, calming presence in the room. Smitty's profound understanding begins to thaw Tyrell's frozen emotions. Slowly, the walls Tyrell built start to crumble. The defining moment comes when Tyrell finally breaks down, allowing the floodgates of his suppressed grief to open. As Tyrell cries, Smitty is right there, offering a strong shoulder and words of profound comfort. He validates Tyrell's pain without minimizing it, guiding him through the darkest days of the breakup. Through Smitty's incredible support, Tyrell gradually begins to process his grief, slowly rebuilding his shattered self-esteem and ultimately emerging from this painful first love tragedy with a newfound maturity and a stronger belief in his own resilience. Nicole is currently navigating a treacherous emotional landscape, suffocating under the immense, unrelenting pressure exerted by Leslie. Leslie's manipulative tactics and high expectations, combined with a series of overwhelming family crises, have pushed Nicole to the absolute edge of her sanity. She is drowning in responsibilities and emotional turmoil, desperately needing a safe harbor. That harbor is Carlton. With an unwavering dedication, Carlton remains steadfastly by Nicole's side, offering her a shield against the relentless storms orchestrated by Leslie. His support is not loud or boastful. It is a quiet, enduring strength that Nicole desperately relies on to keep from entirely falling apart. What makes Carlton's devotion truly remarkable is the immense patience he exercises, especially given the complicated presence of Kial. Kial's lingering shadow in Nicole's life creates an undeniable tension, a silent, messy triangle that would drive most men away in frustration. Yet, Carlton's time with Nicole has granted him a deep well of patience. He understands the complex web she is entangled in and chooses to be her protector regardless of the romantic ambiguity. Carlton consistently positions himself in Nicole's corner, fiercely defending her against external judgments and internal doubts. More importantly, Carlton recognizes the necessity of preserving his own peace. He consciously decides that while he will always be there for Nicole, he must also focus on his own life, his own goals, and his own emotional well-being. Danny, armed with her sharp intellect and unyielding determination, has uncovered a scandalous, highly explosive secret. Randy has been carrying on a clandestine relationship with Haley. She boldly confronts Randy directly, stepping into the lion's den to demand answers. Randy, known for his volatile temper and arrogant disposition, reacts to the confrontation with blinding fury. In his desperate, angry attempt to intimidate Danny and regain control of the narrative, his emotions get the better of him. He loses his composure, and in a momentary lapse of judgment, Randy makes a critical, fatal slip of the tongue. He inadvertently reveals a detail he desperately needed to keep hidden, practically handing Danny the ultimate leverage on a silver platter. Danny immediately recognizes the power of the vulnerability he just exposed, securing a massive advantage over him. She now holds the key to his destruction, possessing a secret that could entirely dismantle his life and his carefully constructed alliances. Randy is not a man who accepts defeat, nor is he someone who will allow a threat to his existence to walk away unscathed. He immediately shifts from defensive to offensive, viewing Danny as an existential threat that must be neutralized by any means necessary. Amidst these high-stakes conflicts, a deeply poignant and intimate storyline is unfolding between Eva and Isaiah, highlighting the profound struggles of body image, trauma, and unconditional love. Eva is battling a severe internal crisis, consumed by a deep-seated insecurity and shame regarding a prominent scar left behind by a recent major surgery. To Eva, the jagged line on her skin is a hideous deformity, a constant cruel reminder of her vulnerability, her trauma, and a perceived loss of her physical beauty. She goes to great lengths to hide it, avoiding mirrors, changing her wardrobe, and pulling away from physical intimacy, allowing her profound self doubt to build a thick wall between her and the rest of the world. Isaiah, however, views the situation through an entirely different, incredibly beautiful lens. Where Eva sees a monstrous flaw, Isaiah sees a breathtaking symbol of resilience, survival, and life itself. He recognizes that the scar is the very reason she is still breathing, still standing by his side. Isaiah makes it his absolute mission to dismantle Eva's insecurities, consistently and gently trying to prove that his love and physical attraction to her remain entirely unchanged, if not deepened by her survival. He showers her with affection, refusing to let her hide in the dark, and treating her body with a reverence that speaks louder than any words could. The climax of their emotional journey occurs during a profoundly honest, deeply moving conversation. Isaiah realizes that simply complimenting her isn't enough. He needs to challenge her perspective. With incredible tenderness but firm resolve, Isaiah forces Eva to confront the hard, uncomfortable truths about her self-perception. He openly shares his own fears of losing her, explaining how that scar represents his greatest victory, keeping the woman he loves alive. He empathizes deeply with her pain and the trauma of the physical change, but he refuses to let her wallow in a prison of insecurity. Through his profound empathy, raw honesty, and unwavering devotion, Isaiah helps Eva begin the difficult journey of self-acceptance, transforming a source of deep shame into a powerful testament to their enduring, unshakable love.